Hey guys, and welcome back to Smutty Buddies.
I'm Isa.
I'm Priscilla.
And today we're going to be talking about God of Fury by Rena Kent.
Yeah.
Part of the Legacy of Gods series.
Yeah.
This is book 5. So we skipped.
Skipped a lot.
Yeah. I know some of you guys wanted God of Wrath. It's coming, people.
Yeah, that was
in the
coming.
future. In the future, it's coming.
Yeah.
We got like some book releases coming up. So
We need to do those.
yeah. And we decided to give the people what they wanted, which a lot of people requested. God of Fury.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, this is going to surprise you guys, but I really liked it.
We caught her with one, guys. We caught her with one, finally.
Shit, bro. I was waiting to like one, and I finally liked
Yeah.
it. Yeah, they were very cute.
Yeah.
Very, very cute.
They're my favorite couple of this series, yeah.
So far, yeah. It's the only ones
It has been my favorite book
that I
yeah.
read. But I will say that in this book, Killian was like telling some jokes, bro. I was like, where was this Killian in the other book?
I feel like this book, you kind of like all the characters.
Yeah, even Landon.
Yeah.
Landon was actually
Landon
really
in
sweet.
this, yeah. Landon in this book, like,
There was
I
more.
fucks with him a lot.
I guess since it was like book 5.
Yeah.
I guess there was already like a lot more character development built. So at this point, like coming from the first book to then reading this one, it's like, damn, okay, like these characters actually have more personality now.
And remember, they're like all in love already. So
Oh yeah, Killian is like,
they're all in love already. So like
Macklin.
they're all pussy whipped.
or dick whip.
Or dick whipped.
Girl, wait, Gareth and the Professor.
Yeah, girl, I told you in the last episode.
Can we get a book, please?
We need like a novella for them at least.
Please, the
She
Professor.
said, yeah, bro.
Come on.
There's like a few couples, which you know that. Okay, so God of War is coming out
Yes.
like very, very soon.
Which I don't know what those are about.
That's gonna be Eli and Ava.
Oh, okay.
Yes, which they're not gonna be in college anymore.
Where are they gonna be in their careers?
I think it's gonna be like 5 years after God of Fury. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So, that's gonna be the last book, apparently, of the Rena universe. So everyone's like, are you gonna be doing like the other books? Like for the other couples that are missing? Because there's quite a few, like where Remy's not gonna get a book?
She should definitely do Gareth and the Professor.
Yes,
like,
I would love
I
that
need
shit.
more of that.
I would
like,
love that shit.
you
Oh my god.
We love the fucking teachers.
Gareth is what, green? He wears the green mask.
Yes, he wears the green mask. He wears the green mask.
Bro, come on. Like, how are you not gonna do? Is he the last Ethan? No.
Girl, I
the
don't
white
know.
one. The white mask don't got a book.
Which I don't even know who the fuck White Mask is. They revealed it and I was like, who is this?
He's the Monster Trilogy. He's
I
their
don't know
kid.
what that is.
You gotta read it. Gotta read it and find out.
Well, I have a very important question to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure this is a very easy answer. But I need to ask it anyways. Because I know some girlies, this specific person is like their man. But I need to ask it. Killian or Nikolai?
Nikolai.
Yeah.
Nikolai. 100%.
I could turn him straight.
100%. 100%. Nah, he's buying.
Yeah, I could.
He's buying.
Trust me. I'd be like, trust me. You don't want the booty hole no more.
I mean, you got a booty hole.
That's true. I got both.
I'll be like, best of both worlds,
both.
baby.
What about Zaid or Nikolai?
Fuck. Girl, that's hard. How are you gonna do that to me? I mean,
You need a
for real?
for real, like in real life.
I'm not gonna lie. Probably Nikolai.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
You
me
too? Yeah.
Girl, really?
It's just nah. Okay, look, you guys know I fuck with Zaid. Like Zaid is, he's up there. He's daddy. But like Nikolai is like, what's higher than daddy?
He's so cute.
He's like grandzaddy. He's like not grand. He's not like a grandfather. I just mean he's like a grand.
like big zaddy.
Yeah, he's like the big zaddy.
Like God.
He is like what I would pray to. I'd get on my knees. Pray real quick.
Make him get on his knees. The fuck. Be like, you top, baby? We're gonna have to change that.
But yeah, Nikolai. It's just I like his vibe,
Yeah.
like the tattoos,
And he's cute.
and like
I mean, Zay got a rose apparently.
No.
He got a rose. And you know they say guys with rose tattoos are red flags.
No.
There's so many. There's so many red flags.
Yeah.
In the male, in that side.
Did Nikolai have any red flags?
I guess I'll let you know as we go along.
You can't think about any right now.
No, it just like it comes to me. I don't think so because while I was reading, if I would have seen a red flag, I would have written it down. But we'll see. I
actually really liked him. Like when I was reading, that's why when you said like Zayd or Nikolai, I had to pick Nikolai because when I was reading this book, I had like heart palpitations from like how cute it was.
Yeah, they're cute.
Like I was like giggling. I loved it. Bro, and like I don't know, yeah. Like I don't know. But yeah, I really liked him. There's actually like there's a guy on TikTok that they fan cast for him. I don't know if you've seen him.
No.
I can pull it up.
Okay.
I'm sure if I find it on Pinterest. You could tell me.
Let's see if that's how
you could tell me if that's how you imagine him. Let me see, because I'm sure if I search him up, he's gonna pop up.
Like on Pinterest?
Yeah.
Nikolai was his but honestly he was so funny.
No, I think
like Nikolai's point of views were it. They were it. And then you go to like Brandon's point of views and you're like, fuck bro, like he's really going through some shit. He really going through it.
This guy.
You found it?
Have you seen this guy on TikTok?
Yes, I've seen him.
Do you think that guy looks like Nikolai?
In my head, no.
In your head, no?
No.
Who would you fan cast for?
Nikolai, like, I don't know. I imagine Nikolai, like, I don't know, bigger.
That is pretty big.
Longer
He's
hair.
Like ripped. He does have long hair.
How long?
Like he could put it up in a bun.
Let me see. Yeah,
bro,
like
that's literally him.
He looks like a bebe.
That's literally
show the people.
I'm not gonna show the people. That's like invasion of privacy of this
bro,
man. You don't know if he likes getting fan casted.
If he on TikTok, his privacy's gone.
Let me see. This guy. I think his name is Mark. I'm not gonna lie. He's like a gym talker.
A gym
talker.
I like his tattoos.
Right? Should I show them?
Yeah,
show this motherfucker. I'm pretty sure anyone that's on TikTok has seen this man.
I've seen him.
You've seen him, exactly. And you didn't know that people were fan casting him as Nikolai.
No, I didn't. But I don't know.
You don't think he would be Nikolai?
No. Even though Nikolai is also 19, right?
Yeah, he is.
Damn, bro.
He's
like,
a baby. Brandon was older than him.
I know. I think Brandon was like 23.
No. He was that old?
Yeah, I think
23?
So.
I thought he was 21 and he was 19.
Oh, I don't know. But it's like, damn, bro. Like,
but he older.
You guys young as fuck and you out here doing all that shit. But anyways.
Yeah.
Let's start.
Oh, guys, as always, spoiler-filled review.
And trigger warnings.
Because
this one gets very intense.
Yeah.
Very sad.
You know, this is more like a sad trigger warning. Killian was more of an unhinged trigger warning.
Yeah.
Disturbing.
Like a criminal.
That man didn't even do shit. Nikolai did more than him.
Yeah, he did. And Landon always does more.
Yeah, Landon, you know.
Yeah. But anyways, okay, so we start off in the initiation. And I'm like, okay, like, you know, we're gonna find out what went down at the initiation.
Yeah, which clearly, this is book 5 now. We know that apparently everyone was there that night. They just didn't fucking know.
Yeah, for real.
Everyone, all of them were there.
I was like, wait, what? And then like Jeremy storms in and he's mad and I'm like, this bitch was there too. Like,
yeah, girl, yes.
Yeah, everybody got the text.
Everyone was there.
If I was good, I'd be like, I thought it was special.
Well, they were special to their each heathen.
Yeah, but Killian didn't even send her the text.
Yeah, he didn't.
I don't even remember who.
It was this bitch.
Oh, that's right. Cherry?
I forgot. Yeah, Cherry.
Okay, so it starts at the initiation. And he's there because he got a text basically saying, oh, if you don't come, something's going to happen to your brother.
Yeah, to Landon.
Of course, he's like, yeah, you know, like, I could definitely do something about this.
Yeah.
So
Brandon being the good brother. Because at this point, like, Landon was, like, a little, like, to me. So I'm like, you really going to do this for this motherfucker? Like...
Yeah,
I'll be like, kill him, bro, kill him. Like, I don't even give a fuck.
Yeah, but then, you know, like, we find out more about the relationship, and it's like, okay, like, you're actually cute. Okay, so he, you know, the whole thing starts again where they're like,
the hunt. Everybody run, I'm gonna chase you.
Yeah, they're like, okay, whoever doesn't want to do this, run, and only 10 people leave.
Yeah.
Only 10 people leave, and then they're like, start. So then Brandon starts hauling ass, and he decides to hide behind a bush. And he's like, I'm not gonna be, even though he's a professional runner.
So clearly, they all hide.
They all
hide.
And this, you thought the tree was bad.
Nah,
the bush is bad.
Yeah.
That's a bad hiding spot.
I feel like if you hide under a person, like that's like more, you know, like I feel like if I was in a grocery store and let's say like a killer walks in, that'd be something I would do. Like I would hide under a dead under a dead person.
You use their blood to cover up.
Like yeah, you see, like that's more. But you think I'm gonna hide like behind the cereal?
Girl,
nah.
You could like take a. You think they're gonna be looking through the shelves? I'd like empty some shit out and go back there.
And where are you gonna put the food? And there's just gonna be like a whole bunch of cereal boxes
right outside.
Where are you gonna get? You're the first one dead.
Just gotta shoot up the cereal boxes.
I think the stock boy hadn't finished here.
It's a little suspicious.
Like nah, girl. So like I feel like the bush, like you can't camouflage as a bush either.
Bro. And he's hiding there like, yeah, this is a good spot.
Like maybe throw some dirt on your face.
That's a good spot. He truly thought it was a good
Going
spot.
black, maybe. Put some leaves on top of you. Like
yeah, bro, rip some out of the hide in the bush. How about that?
Not behind
the bush.
Where someone can literally walk behind the bush.
And that's exactly what happens.
That's it, yeah.
So he's hiding behind the bush because he's like, oh, like, I'm waiting to find Landon by hiding behind the bush. And then someone whispers in his ear, and they're like, why aren't you running?
Oh my God.
And then obviously is Mr. Orange Mask.
Yeah.
Which I thought he was yellow, but apparently he's orange.
No, he's yellow.
No, he's orange.
No, Jeremy's orange.
Jeremy's yellow.
No.
Yes, girl.
I thought. Wait,
look it up real quick.
I
I
thought
could have
Jeremy.
sworn like in the picture you just showed me, it showed like orange mask.
So maybe it is orange.
Yeah. It's
Oh, you know what I was thinking? Probably because the cover of the book
is yellow.
Yeah. Is yellow.
That would have made more sense. She could have made the lotus flower out of an orange.
I think you're right.
I think he's orange. Yeah.
But this one's like.
That one looks yellow, but I think he's orange. And Jeremy's yellow. Yeah, you see?
Yeah, you see? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What the fuck is that? What the? Yeah. Rena, did you not think this through?
Yeah, no.
Confusing me.
She didn't. What's the color of his book? His book is orange.
No, his book is red.
That's red? That's red.
That's like bright red. This is.
That's orange.
That's a heart.
That's tangerine.
I know heart's orange.
No.
That's like this one's like a bright. This is like a blood. You know Killian likes blood. Yeah. Right. Jeremy is more like a you broke my heart. It's a little, you see burnt. It's a little burnt.
Is it burnt? That looks like a bullet. Like a bullet. Oh,
no, not the heart. Not the heart, girl. I'm talking about the color. It's the red is a little bit more like dried.
Yeah, it's like dusty.
Yeah, it's dusty. But look at damn.
But yeah, so Nikolai
I haven't seen these, fam.
Whispers behind him, and he's like, "Why aren't you running?" And then he grabs Brandon by the neck. What is it?
He ripped, baby.
I'd be like, y'all ridiculous. I'd be like, what's up with the mask? But anyways, okay, so he grabs Brandon by the neck.
Oh.
And from the beginning, Brandon mentions that he's grabbing him exactly where he pulls his hair from, which we learn more about that later. But then Brandon grabs something from the ground and whacks Nikolai in the face and runs. Mind you, Brandon's like a professional runner.
Yeah. That's probably why Nico was asking him, like, why are you running, baby? Because he already knows that motherfucker already stalking him. He's like, I know you be running.
No,
why
and then he's like, you know what? Like, he's like, sorry, Landon. Like, I can't help you. So he sees Red Mask, and we all know who Red Mask is.
With a bat.
We know he's like,
whacking people. He's like, yeah, you know, I think Landon can fend for himself.
Yeah,
I think he's a little crazy. He'll be fine.
Yep. So he runs straight into Red Mask and he stands right in front of him. He's like, just hit me, bro. End this for me. And you know, Killian's about to, but then someone tackles him from behind. And Brandon, like, is on, no, not Brandon, Nikolai is on top of him. And, you know, like, they start wrestling on the ground. And Nikolai is kind of like on top of him. And, you know, he feeling some type of way. He's like, damn, he feel like a runner. And then Brandon tells him to take him to his brother. And Nikolai is like, that's fine. Like, I'll take him. I'll take you to your brother.
I'll take you to Landon.
So he takes him to like this house.
which is like where they're taking the. I think the people that win go to the house.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah.
And then like the house, there's a couch, and Nikolai sits on the couch, and then he's like, "Come here if you want to see your brother." And Brandon obviously like comes up to him, and he sits Brandon on his lap.
Yeah.
And Brandon's like, "Oh my god, like, stop!" And then
Brandon's like, "What are you doing?"
He's like, "Stop." But whatever. Nikolai is like, like tickling him a little bit, and then in walks in Green Mask.
Yeah.
And Glenn, and he's like, "Oh shit, why's my sister here?" So then he freezes because he starts like panicking. He panics a lot. He starts panicking, and then Brandon like is just there frozen, and Nikolai is like, is he good? Like, imagine he's just sitting like on some guy's lap, like just frozen.
He's like,
and then I remember from God of Malice, Glyndon saw that, and she looked over and she was like, "There's like some guy sitting on his lap." But whatever. He kind of like dissociates until Nikolai like has to tell him like, "Listen, like she's gone, like you're good." So then Brandon gets off, and Nikolai tells him that he made up the whole Landon story. And then Brandon goes to leave, and then that's when Jeremy walks in. Green Mask walks in, and he's throwing his mask on the floor.
Yellow Mask.
He's Yellow Mask.
With all the colors.
Jesus Christ, bro! It's like the fucking. Oh my god. This is, anyways, yellow mask. Yellow Mask walks in, and he's throwing it on the floor. So the Power Rangers. Yeah. He's throwing on the floor, and then Nikolai is like, "You good?" Like, because they're besties. Yeah. They're besties.
They have a cute relationship too.
Yeah. Honestly, I really like the guy's relationship in this book. And he's like, "Are you good, Jeremy?" Like, and he's like, "Oh shit, like you're here." And then Nikolai is like, "This is number 89. Like he won.
He won. So he's, he passed initiation.
He's a heathen, And Brandon is like, and he just leaves.
Yeah. Brandon's like, fuck, like I didn't even want to be here, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
and then obviously Jeremy finds out that it's Brandon.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Are you fucking crazy?" He's like, "Another one of these motherfuckers." Bro, like,
how many fucking British people are we adding?
Another done. Yeah, he's like, "This is USA all the way." Like,
Russia. Because you're Russian.
Justice and liberty. Bald eagles. And guns. This is it. Oh, yeah, they're Russian.
They're Russian.
This is, we don't want no...
baby.
Yeah. He's like, no more of the British.
No more.
Like, I can't...
No more George Washington. Wait, George Washington's on there. Did he have an accent?
George Washington came from...
England,
yeah.
Yeah, so I was right.
I don't know when the Hillbillies came. They changed everything.
When the Cowboys came.
They changed everything.
Yeah, where the fuck did it go from?
They start talking like this. Yeah. Anyways.
Okay.
So, that night, this is where it gets funny. Nikolai starts like trying to like watch porn. He starts he tries to have a foursome. Yeah. And his dick does not work. Yeah.
Because Nikolai's very
sexual.
Yeah. That's the word we can use.
Yes.
Orgies.
All types of stuff. Yeah.
Guys, girls, anybody with a hole.
Yes. And then he starts talking to his dick, saying like, "What's wrong with you, man?"
Which his dick has a name, guys. Yes. By the way,
Cole.
Yeah,
that's his name. That's the dick's name. He's like, "What's wrong with you? Like, why aren't you working?" And he's like, "This is the first time this has ever happened to me." And then he starts thinking about Brandon. And Kolya the twitches. Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, you like that?
Yeah, you like that motherfucker.
That's the one you like.
You like the little British guy."
And he's like, "Fuck no." He's like, "He's straight, first of all. Like, I can't turn him. Like, what?" And then he starts thinking about the threesome, and immediately the dick goes flaccid. Yeah. And he's like, "This motherfucker, bro." Yeah.
He's like, "Work, motherfucker, work." Which his dick, I think, is named by like one of his dad's guards.
Yes. Something like that. No, and it's pierced too. 4. He got like 4 piercings on that thing. And it's dangly. Yeah. The piercing is dangly. Yeah.
Bro, that shit's gonna get ripped out.
Especially by a butthole, bro. You know how tight a butthole gets. That shit turns like...
He's probably like, let me stretch it out first.
It's fucking like cuts your circulation. Imagine if it like grabs onto one of like... What if you lose it in a butthole?
You could just poop it out.
Oh my god. Or maybe it'll come out with the jizz,
Oh, yeah.
Just leak out.
If they jizz inside of you.
I mean, why is a butthole? There's no risk. Might as well. Might
That
as well
is true.
just do it. Might as well just do it.
That is true.
But this is like butcher and black
No babies.
again.
No babies.
No. Especially not with a man.
Especially not with a man. And a butthole.
This motherfucker got all types of piercings on his dick.
Yeah. So y'all don't want a kid, you know what to do.
No. No, and apparently this motherfucker likes it. He starts like, he loves the piercings.
Yeah.
I'd be like, take that shit out right now. The fuck? Take it. Why? First of all, why are they dangly? Like, if you're gonna pierce your dick, make it studded. Little studs. Okay?
Yeah. And like 4.
On his
head. Bro, on his head. Because like a Jacob's ladder, like, okay. Like on the underside.
Yeah, I guess.
But like on the head, 4 of them.
You know what it is to like give head, and that shit is like tickling your throat.
No, you can't deep throat it.
No, it'll like tickle.
You can't deep throat it.
You'll throw up.
Yeah.
But no, Brandon got no gag reflex. Let me just tell you that. So then Nikolai starts freaking out, and he starts going around to his friends. He asks Killian, he asks Jeremy, he asks Gareth. He all asks them like, "Are you gay?" And then Killian is like, "A hole is a hole." Which of course, fucking Killian. He's like, hole. I prefer it if it bleeds.
Yeah.
Too. And Nikolai's like, okay.
Yeah.
So
Mind you got a girlfriend at this point.
Yeah. But he's like, a hole is a hole.
Yeah.
So then he goes to Jeremy, and Jeremy is like, nah, I'm straight as fuck. And Nikolai is, you sure about that? And Jeremy's like, yeah, I love pussy. And then he goes
strictly
to Gareth,
kitty.
and Gareth is the one that's in between.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. At least he was honest. He's like, you don't want to be honest.
He's like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I catch myself thinking about dick.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's just, like sometimes the dick don't sound too bad.
Yeah, it doesn't, bro. It sounds like it could hit my prostate.
Real good.
Nikolai's like, okay. He's like, whatever.
He's like, I think you need to figure that out.
Yeah, he's like, you're confused.
that sounds like a you problem.
You're confused. But he becomes so like obsessed, I guess you could say, that he starts stalking Brandon. So it's like 5:30 in the morning, and he sees that Brandon posts something like that he goes on a run every day at 5:30.
Yeah.
So he goes to stalk Brandon because he hasn't been able to get off.
He's like,
he
shit don't work, bro.
He watches porn and he's like, fuck, bro, like, it's not
even the porn is working at this point.
It's not this straight motherfucker, like,
it's not the British guy.
He's not British. He looks so specifically British porn. He goes to a UK website, not UK.
Nothing's working.
Pornhub.uk. Yeah. So then Brandon starts running, and then Nikolai starts running after him, and he takes one of Brandon's AirPods. And he's like, long time no see. Miss me? And Brandon's
like, what the fuck? He's like, I like to run in peace.
No, yeah. Brandon, he's always in his own head. And Brandon keeps running. He's like, whatever. And Nikolai is like, it's me. He's like, Nikolai. And he's like, oh, wait. I was wearing a mask.
Yeah, it's orange mask.
Yeah, he was like, is this me? Remember me? He's like, we met the other day at the initiation. Like, you didn't see my face, but it's me. And he goes like, I'm much hotter without the mask, right? And Brandon is just like, bro, what the fuck? So he starts running faster, and he's like, oh, like, I'm a professional runner, but like, he's not gonna be able to catch me. Well, all of a sudden someone tackles him from behind and it's Nikolai, and he takes his other AirPod, and Brandon is like, give that back, and he opens his palm so Nikolai could give him the fucking AirPods. And Nikolai grabs his hand and he's like, it's so nice to meet you, Brandon. Like, and then he goes like, oh, finally nice to meet you, Lotus Flower, because you managed to bloom so beautifully while surrounded by the muddy swamp that is Landon.
So he's a beautiful flower.
Yes, he's a lotus flower.
And Landon is the shit water.
He's a swamp. He's a Shrek.
Swamp.
Landon is Shrek. Get my swamp.
Get off me, swamp.
Get off my swamp. He's literally Shrek, bro. Landon is a fucking ogre when it comes to everybody except for Brandon.
Yeah, except for Brandon.
And whoever he's with. I forgot who he's with.
He ends up with
Mia. Nikolai's cousin.
Yes.
Yeah. And then
no, that's his sister.
Nikolai's sister, my bad.
Yeah.
It's Killian's
cousin.
That's why I was confusing it. So then Brandon is like, let go. And Nikolai is like, Brandon's like, let go, Nikolai. And he's like, I love the way you say my name, baby. And Brandon's like, what the fuck?
He's like, stop it.
Literally, he's like, I'm strange.
Like, why you?
He's like, stop.
Why you all up on me?
No, he's literally like, stop, I'm straight.
Stop it.
Which, mind you, I was reading this book and I'm like, bro, this song is made for them. By Troye Sivan, One of Your Girls. You know the song, One of Your Girls? I'll be like one of your girls.
I don't know that song.
Give me a call if
okay,
you
now I know the song.
ever get lonely. And then he said he'll be like one of his homies too. He could be a homie, he could be a girl.
Anything you want, baby.
Yeah, that's them. That's what was playing in my head. So anyways, Brandon tries to run again and Nikolai tackles him to the ground. And he calls Nikolai disgusting. And Nikolai gets mad and leaves. Which that comes back. But he's not calling him disgusting because of his sexual orientation.
Not because he's bi.
Yeah, he's calling him disgusting because he keeps like making advances on him.
Yeah, and he's like touching him. He's like, bro, like, I'm straight.
Yeah. Like, which I understand. It's like, why are you touching up on people?
Yeah, exactly. Like, if I don't like being touched, why are you touching me? Which is,
yes,
you know,
that'll be me with Killian.
Yeah.
I'll be like, don't touch me. Fuck it. Don't touch me.
Yeah, but Nikolai, you know, he doesn't fuck with that word.
Yeah, no.
And it does come back a few times.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, it does. So.
Which I get both sides. I understand both sides. Because it's difficult.
But if you like, he would like explain.
Yeah, but it
wouldn't make it feel like shit.
He's like,
you know?
I don't owe this motherfucker an explanation. He's like, I just don't want him to touch me.
He's
But he
like,
does. But at the same time, he doesn't. Because of his own shit that he's going through.
Yeah.
So anyways, Nikolai starts running with him for like a few days. And then on the third day, as Brandon's running, some girl in like a red Audi pulls up.
The red car again.
The red car. And Nikolai's like,
who the fuck is that?
So what the fuck?
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah. And this girl comes out. And turns out it's Brand's on and off girlfriend for 2 years. Yeah. And then Clara. And we get introduced to Clara. And Clara's
that fucking
like,
bitch.
She's like, baby, hi.
Oh my god, I missed you. Like, fucking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Nikolai is there like,
who the fuck is this bitch? Like, who the fuck is touching my lip?
Oh, girl, your earring fell off. Your earring just disconnected.
It's okay. It's on the other side.
Yeah, it's okay. They don't see it. So, okay,
it's
so
good.
Nikolai like ends up making a sound behind Brandon, and Brandon hears him, so he knows Nikolai is there. And this motherfucker starts making out with Clara, and he turns around to stare at Nikolai.
So he's like making out with her,
yes,
but he's looking directly at Nikolai. He's like as a basically like a fuck you.
Yes, but it's like So then Nikolai like looks at him. He's like, "Oh, you want to play that way?" He grabs like his dick, and he's like, "How about that?"
He's like, "Since that bitch is touching my lotus flower,"
and he mouths to Brandon. He's like, "Want to take care of this for me?" And Brandon's like.
In his head, he's like, "Fuck yeah."
He's like, nah. He's like, "What the fuck?" And then like he pulls away from Clara and like whatever. Yeah. And Nikolai notices
that his dick is hard.
He got a witty. I was like, oh.
But he was looking at him the whole time, like.
Yeah, exactly. And Nikolai like.
Are you feeling that way?
At first, when he kissed Clara, Nikolai could tell that like he was uncomfortable. Yeah. Which later we find out that like Brandon is asexual, so he doesn't like any of that until Nikolai came along, obviously. So then days go by, and all of a sudden Killian gets attacked, and we know when this happens because this is he got attacked. He got attacked, and then Nikolai goes up to the room. And Brandon and Landon are there. And he's like, look who's here. Look who's here. And then Brandon, like, he sees Nikolai and he's like, all right, like, I'm out of here. Yeah. Like, let me know if you need anything. Yeah.
This motherfucker gonna try to touch me.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
So he walks away. Yeah. He leaves. And obviously Nikolai follows him. And he catches up to him and he asks him, like, oh, what are you trying to prove? Because the way I saw it, you got hard when you had your eyes on me, not her. And then Brand, like, he's like, bro, he throws him against the wall, like, by the neck. And he's like, stop fucking with me. He's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And Nikolai is like, oh, yeah. He's like, that's right. And he's like, talk dirty to me, baby.
I love fucking Nico, bro.
Yeah. And then Brandon is like, don't call me baby.
Yeah.
And then Nikolai throws him against the wall and he like grabs him by the neck and he's like, you didn't get hard when Clara called you baby, but you did for me. And then he grabs his jaw like if he's gonna kiss him, and Brandon is like, don't.
So I already told you. Like, guys,
I don't like dick.
Stop touching me.
No. And he's like, don't you dare. don't you dare.
Don't kiss me.
He's British.
Yeah.
And Nikolai like licks his jaw and starts like biting. He starts nibbling like on his neck. His Adam's apple. He got something with the Adam's apple. He's like, he's sucking on that shit. Which, do you like Adam's apples?
Yes.
Yes, I love Adam's apples.
I'm not gonna lie.
I like when they're like, it looks like a fucking ball like sticking out. Like it looks abnormally large. That's what I like. It's just like
when you got like an apple stuck there.
Yeah, that's what I like.
A mini apple.
It's so nice. It's so nice and hard. So anyway. You know, like we don't got that shit.
Yeah.
But whatever. Anyways, I don't know. Whew, that got me a little.
Feel a little spicy.
A little something. So he licks back up to his chin,
Uh-huh.
and he's like hovering over his mouth,
yeah.
like about to kiss him. And he's like, oh, in his head he's thinking, he's like, I'm gonna make him forget all about Clara. He's like, fuck that bitch. And then like right when he's about to, Brandon pushes him away.
Yeah.
And Brandon calls him disgusting again. And this time Nikolai punches the fuck out of him. He punches him in the face.
It's understandable.
Yes. And he's like, I told you last time.
Yeah. Not to call me that.
If you called me that, I was gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
And like he punches him in the face and leaves. And I was like, the tea. I was like, oh my god.
And at that point, Brandon does feel like shit.
Yeah.
For doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, he did. He's like, fuck. Like, I shouldn't have said that.
Because that's not, you shouldn't use that word.
Yeah,
like,
disgusting is such like a harsh word. Especially like the way that you're saying it after what he just did. He's like, he's like, fuck, bro. Like, you're saying this because of what I did. But like,
that's why it could come across that way. But that's not how he meant it.
That's not how he meant it. He just want to give you a besito, baby.
Yes.
Like,
exactly.
You just want some love.
Exactly. So
clearly you want it. You know.
Brandon feels bad, as we said.
Yeah.
And he texts him that he's sorry for what he said and that he meant no disrespect by it. And he sent that to Nikolai, and like 2 weeks pass and Nikolai still hasn't responded.
He still hasn't responded.
But he read it. He read it and he never responded.
Just left him on red. He ghosted him.
So Brandon starts like fuzzies.
There's a fuzzy.
So Brandon starts like, you know, getting in his head about it.
Yeah.
And he, you know, he starts feeling a little confused. Because he's like, oh, why am I feeling this type of way towards him?
Why do I keep on thinking about him?
Why do I want his attention? You know? And weeks go by, and they're at a bar. And this scene happened in Garmelis.
Yes.
That they're in the bar, and then they start playing, like, Never Have I...
Never Have I... Yes.
Never Have I Ever?
Yes, Never Have I Ever.
Okay, they start playing Never Have I Ever. And then that's when Nikolai and Killian walk in. And, like, Lyndon's all fucked up.
Yeah.
Remember? So then Brandon notices Nikolai, and Nikolai isn't, like, looking at him. He's literally like...
I don't see you. You think I'm disgusting? I'm gonna avoid your ass.
Exactly.
Mind you, Nikolai's dick still ain't working.
Exactly. Like, Nikolai, he's acting all hard, but he hasn't gotten hard in a while. So, he's not looking at Brandon, and that's, like, the first thing that Brandon notices. So, they start playing Never Have I Ever, and then back to the first book, that's when Nikolai asks, like, he asked, like...
I think he says like never have I ever
experimented with someone of the same sex.
Someone asked like no. First, it's never have I ever been in love.
And Brandon
takes a shot, and so does Ava.
Yes,
which that goes like.
But Brandon's lying.
Yeah,
Brandon's lying.
Yeah,
but he takes a shot.
He takes a shot, and he looks at him like.
And Nikolai's looking at him like,
oh, you been in love, motherfucker.
Yeah, literally.
He's like, you gonna fall in love again. So and then he goes like, Nico asks,
have you ever experimented with someone of the same sex?
Yeah. Which he doesn't. Which Nico takes a shot, but Brandon doesn't. Yeah. And he's like,
fuck this shit.
He's like, fuck this shit. You're boring as fuck. I'm out.
Exactly. So then when he leaves, Brandon keeps drinking.
Yeah.
And when he's leaving the pub, he ends up running into like this guy. He stumbles into him and he's like, what the fuck, bro?
Bitch.
Well, no, they're British.
Yeah.
Was
the other guy British?
What other guy?
The guy that he bumped into?
Yeah, he's British.
He was British too?
Yeah. He's British gang.
Oh.
British gang. And then he goes to punch Brandon, but Nikolai saves the day.
Yeah, of course.
Nikolai saves the day.
He was in the shadows.
Yes.
He was waiting for his baby to come out.
He'd been following Brandon for like 5 blocks.
Yeah.
And then it's like Nikolai's point of view, and he's like, I totally wasn't like just standing waiting for him to come out.
Waiting for my lotus flower.
And like he just happened to be walking the same way I was.
I just saw that guy, and like I don't like people bullying other people, so like I had to do something. Exactly.
And then whatever. Brandon is just there like, Brandon's drunk as fuck. He's
Yeah,
like, oh my god, what the fuck is that?
In his head though, he's like, shit, baby,
yeah,
you really gonna come save me? Like,
I know. He's like, damn, bro, when I'm drunk, like I'm horny as fuck right now.
You know how I'm feeling right now. And you know, like when he probably looks like you know, like when you're fighting, you have like that mad face on. He's probably like
what, bro?
Yeah.
What?
And Brandon's over there like fucking drooling probably. He's
yes.
like,
Nikolai literally like has to close his mouth.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, like if you keep staring, I don't think you have a crush on me.
Yeah.
Like relax. Because last time I checked, that was disgusting. And then Nikolai.
And you straight. So.
Yeah, I have a hair. Okay. And then Nikolai goes to walk away, and Brandon grabs him by the shirt and tells him thank you. Mm-hmm. And Nikolai's like, the fuck? He's already like, the fuck do you want? The fuck? And then he's like, I didn't do it for you, but whatever. Like, obviously you did, motherfucker. You did it for him. He goes to walk away, but Brandon again pulls on his shirt. And Nikolai is like, what is it now, bro? What do you want? What do you want? And Brandon is like, oh, like, did you get my text?
Like, did you not receive them? Like, you haven't texted me back.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
And he's like, I did.
Yeah, I got them.
Like, am I not disgusting you anymore? And he basically tells Brandon, like, get over yourself. Bye. Yeah. Like, if I don't want to reply, I don't need to reply. And he walks away. And then Brandon gets in his way. He gets in front of him. And he's like, can I ask you something? And Nikolai's like, yeah, I mean, we're here, bro. Like, just fucking go. You've already, like, stopped me I don't know how many times. And then he asks Nikolai, did you have a thing with Anika? Yeah. Because back at the bar, they were, like, looking at each other a certain way.
Which is Jeremy's sister. Which we know that she ends up with.
Yes.
She ends up with Creighton. Yeah. Yes. But he don't know that because technically in the timeline right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So he's like,
what's going on between you guys?
He's like, I saw you guys are real friendly. What's going on?
But they like grew up together, so it's understandable.
Yes, and then that's what Nikolai tells him. He's like, she's literally like a fucking fetus. Yeah. Like she's younger than me. Which if he's 19, how much younger can she be?
I think she's only like a year younger than her.
Yeah, like
he's a year younger than she's a year younger than him. Oh my god.
Yes. And Nikolai's like, so like relax, dude. Yeah. And Brandon's like, I'm not your dude.
I'm your baby. I'm your lotus flower.
Yes. No, Nikolai is literally like, yeah, you like to be called baby. You know what I mean? And then Brandon starts like tugging on his hairs because he starts panicking. Because he's feeling a certain way towards Nikolai.
Like, I shouldn't feel this way.
Yes. And then Nikolai tells him like, you're in denial. Like, you're gay, motherfucker. You like dick. And Brandon's like,
he's like, just wait until you get introduced to mine, baby.
Brandon's like, the fuck, bro? The fuck?
He's like, no, I don't.
The fuck? And he's like,
whip it out though. He's like, let me see it. I'll let you know.
No, and then Nikolai is like, oh, like, why do you get so mad when I call you baby? Like, if you're so secure about yourself. Like, I don't know, you say you straight, but you get real defensive when I call you baby. And then he's like, because you're not supposed to. And Nikolai's like, damn, bro. Nikolai's like, he's like, stop looking at me like that, Brandon. Stop.
Like, give me those eyes.
Because Brandon's like, he's like, stop before I do something. And then he's like, stop it before I devour you. And he does it. And Nikolai's like, you know what? Fuck this shit, bro. When he drags him to an alley, I'd be like, oh my god.
It's going down. It's going down. It's going down.
So that, what does he do? He kisses
him. Yeah. He kisses him.
And Brandon's like, oh my god. He's like, I'm asexual. I'm straight. I don't know. Like, I'm homosexual. He's like, you know what? I'm homosexual.
I'm a homosexual. For Nikolai?
Yes.
He's like, why am I feeling this way?
He's like, oh my god, my dick is hard. Why am I bricked right now? So, Nikolai starts asking him who's a better kisser, me or Clara? And Brandon's like, shut the fuck up. And they keep going at it.
Like, eating each other's faces.
Yes. And then they start getting hard, and he pulls out Brandon's cat. Yeah. And he starts jerking him.
Yeah, he starts touching him.
And he's like, oh my god. Yeah. And Nikolai's like, pull mine out. He's like, touch it. Take
it out, run out.
And Brandon's like, what do I do with it? Because I've never done this before.
Like, if you've never really a hand job, boy.
He's like, I don't know what to do with it. Like,
what do I do? Teach me.
And he's like, just start moving it, you know?
Like, just tug on it.
He's like, you see what I'm doing? Do the same thing. And that's when he sees the 4 piercings. And he's like,
whoa.
I would immediately put that shit back in. I'd be like, this is over.
Zipper up.
This is over. Why you got 4 piercings, bro?
One, okay, before.
What kind of masochist are you?
Like, did you get them all at the same time? Like, I hope so. Like, I hope you did it. You think getting them separate times is better?
Bro, his hand must have been so fucking swollen.
Probably.
So swollen. Like, imagine, like, you get your ears pierced, and it takes, like, a while. Imagine.
Like, I feel like in the book, I'm intrigued. I'm like, okay. But, like, in real life...
In real life, if a motherfucker comes up to you, and, you know, like, you meet him, and you really like him. I'm setting up the situation. You really like this motherfucker. No. He looks like Henry Cavill. No. Bitch, he's Henry Cavill. You know what? He is Henry Cavill.
Okay.
And he, you know, you meet him like at a cafe. You're
it's
single, by the way.
I don't think he got those vibes.
You're not in a relationship. You're single.
My boyfriend is non-existent in this scenario.
In this universe, your boyfriend doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You meet him at a cafe, and you know it's Henry, and he's like, "How are you? I'm Henry." And
okay.
Like,
and I'm like, I don't even like.
He's
no
like,
questions asked. Yeah. Like, let's go home.
He's like, I'm gonna take you on a date because I think you're gorge.
Okay. So not.
You're beautiful.
So we're not going to an alley.
No,
not in this scenario. He's gonna wine and dine me.
Nah, he's a gentleman.
Oh, he's gonna okay.
So he wines and dines you. You know, and it's the end of the night. It's the end of the night. You got a few drinks in you, bro. You got a few drinks in you already. You know, you're feeling like a certain type of way.
How many drinks?
You got like...
Am I tipsy?
Girl, knowing you, 3 will fuck you up. You got like 3 glasses of wine.
Then he ain't a gentleman.
Yeah, girl, you know, he's like, I'm gonna let you drink, have fun. And then...
But then he still want to give it to you when you're drinking?
No.
That's not a gentleman.
He's like, I'm gonna take you home. And you're like, home the fuck?
Oh, okay, so I want it.
You're like...
I'm initiating.
Yes, you're like, show me your house, baby. So then he takes you to his house.
Oh, okay. I thought we were already okay. I was like,
drives you in his Lamborghini.
Bro, this man got like.
He drives you.
So he got money.
He got it. Girl, he's Henry Cavill.
Honestly, don't even fucking finish the story. It's fine. I'll keep the dick piercing.
Okay. Okay. So you accept the 4 piercings.
He got money? Fuck yeah.
He'll be like, I want you to suck on him. You sucking on him?
Can I take him out?
No, girl. He'll be like, it's gonna close. My holes are gonna close. They like, you know, the pre-cum gets all over them and everything. You gotta suck them off. Is Henry Cavill? Girl?
Sure.
Okay.
We could have just gone with Nikolai at this scenario, to be honest. I would have said yes too.
Oh, okay. Is Nikolai, he got you in an alley? What you doing?
Fuck yeah.
I'd be like, no.
You're saying no?
Nah, girl. I'd be like, the fuck is this?
It's like bedazzled.
Yes, bedazzled.
It's glistening.
Like, nah.
Glistening in the dark.
Nah, bro.
In the alley.
I'd be like, why?
The only light in the alley.
Why your dick like look like a fucking, what do you call shits in the beach? The light it guides the boats.
Lighthouse?
Yeah, why look like a lighthouse with the thing at the top?
Little tip.
It's like, attention, here I am. But anyways, okay, back to the scene. So Nikolai grabs both of their cans and they start sword fighting with each other. You know, they start they start rubbing on each other,
touching, whatever.
And then Brandon comes.
Yeah.
And it says that it goes everywhere. It goes everywhere. It's like the biggest nut of his life.
He's like, damn.
Everywhere. And then
Nikolai's like,
Nikolai like also comes and he shoves his fingers in Brandon's mouth and he's like, yeah.
He's like, taste it. And he's like, you know you like that, baby.
Yeah.
And he's like, you didn't feel this way, Clara.
He got a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So where he takes Brandon on the motorcycle.
Red flag?
Red flag for a motorcycle?
I think it's green.
I think it's green. 100%.
But I know Brandon is like, I'm not getting on the back of that shit.
But he does. He's drunk.
He does.
You know? I don't even know how he holds on. But motorcycles are a green flag.
Yeah.
It's like, you got balls to drive that shit, bro. Like.
But you like I know he has a bike. Mm-hmm. But do you like a bike or a motorcycle?
No, motorcycle.
You like a Harley.
Oh, you mean like a speed bike?
Yeah. I know he has a speed bike.
I like a speed, yeah.
But would you, what's like your vibe? The Harley or the speed bike?
No, the regular, not the regulars. The speed bikes, like the BMW motorcycles.
Like the Hondas.
I guess. I like the BMW ones. They're very nice.
Yeah, the BMW ones.
Very nice. In red. That's a red. If it's red, it's a red flag.
I like a black.
Black, yes.
Black. clean.
It's very nice, very nice.
But you gotta have a helmet.
Yeah. The fuck? What you doing without a helmet?
Like 2 specifically.
That's a red flag if you don't wear a helmet.
Because I'm not getting on the fuck of a...
Yeah.
I'm not getting on the back of a bike without a helmet.
Yeah, no.
It's not happening.
That's a red flag. Because it's
not
like,
in this life,
now
maybe.
you acting like you're too good for a helmet.
Yeah. Which you're not.
No. And
you ever
helmets...
see those guys like driving shirtless on a bike? Like, dude, that's a red flag too, in my opinion. Like, I feel like you should always wear like safe.
You won't get all scratched up.
You should wear like safe clothes.
Yeah, I'm going like, in like armor.
I'm sure like a t-shirt ain't gonna do shit, but like, why are you not wearing at least a shirt? Like, wear something.
The helmet's more important, at least. But you know,
shirt.
if you like your head,
nah, it's over with.
Yeah.
Then you'll never ride a bike again.
Yeah. So the next morning, Brandon like wakes up in his house. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh my God. He like remembers what happened. And he's so upset with himself that he ends up punching the mirror. And he punches the mirror. And then he starts punching his head. And he grabs a shard and he basically squeezes it and he injures his hand. Yeah. And this is where, you know, more of his psyche comes out. Yeah.
So we start realizing that, like, he's going through stuff, clearly.
He's going through shit.
Yeah. Like, in his head, like, where he's at right now in life. Mm-hmm. So you start like noticing like, okay, he's clearly like hiding his emotions, which that later comes out.
And you know, I found Brandon to be like really relatable.
Yes,
very relatable, and like his situation was very realistic also,
where it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah,
like he's at the point where that's like typical. There's like a lot of people that are going through stuff and you have no fucking idea. Yeah. And he's like hiding it well. Bro, no one knew anything. No one. None of his family, none of his friends, no one in the university, no one.
Yeah, he was all like Nikolai said, he was like the preppy boy, British boy.
And I think like him getting close to Nikolai like helped him. And Nikolai too, because he started realizing like, nah, there's like more to him. Like there's something going on here.
Yeah. Like, it's not just that he's like a control freak. Like, no, there's a lot more. So, he still wakes up at 5:30 in the morning because that's like part of his routine. And he wakes up and he goes for a run. And then obviously Nikolai is there. And Nikolai looks at his hand and he's like, what happened to your hand? Yeah. But Brandon like brushes it off and he basically tells him like, leave me alone. And then... he's like, you left me alone for weeks before this. Like, you could do it again. Yeah,
like, you can start ignoring me again. It's fine.
Yeah, and Nikolai's like, yeah, it was before I got acquainted with your day. Before I saw that day. And then Nikolai tells him, break up with Clara. If not, I'm fucking her up.
Like, what are you gonna do to her?
He's like, lose the bimbo or I'll do it for you. And Brandon's like...
and I ain't gonna tell you twice.
Yeah. Brandon's like, whatever, bro. Yeah. So, fast forward. Nikolai takes Jeremy to Brandon's lacrosse game.
I fucking love this scene. I loved this scene because it's literally giving like Nikolai is such like, but he's obviously funny, but he kind of gives you like that bad boy, like, you know, like I'm the bad guy. Like, don't fuck with me type of vibes. Cute. But in this chapter, dude.
And Jeremy's just there like...
Jeremy's like, why the fuck are you bringing me here? Like,
literally, he's like, lacrosse.
He's like, this. He's like, bro, this ain't like. He's like, do you know what I am to the mafia, motherfucker? He's like, I can't be Kai here.
Nah, bro. He's like, lacrosse.
He's like, with this British motherfucker's like, no.
So they go to the lacrosse game, and Nikolai sees that Clara is sitting like a few seats in front of him, and he's looking at her like,
this fucking stupid bitch.
He's like, she didn't lose her, huh? Yeah. He didn't lose her. And then, whatever, he's watching Brandon, and a guy ends up, like, pushing Brandon, because lacrosse is aggressive.
Yeah. They got, like, the stick, and they be fucking, like, hitting each other, and pushing each other, and beating each other. It's aggressive. They barely wear gear.
No, it's just little shorts and tight shirts. Yeah.
Nicholas like, I like that. I like that uniform.
Whatever, Brandon gets pushed, and Nikolai is like... fuck that guy, suck my dick, and a bunch of shit.
Bro, he starts like, he jumps up from his seat real quick. He starts going off. And Jeremy's like, sit the fuck down. Jeremy's
literally like, can you
sit down? He's like, can you come the fuck down? Like, what the fuck is going on right now?
He becomes a parent. Yeah. He's like, if you don't sit your ass down, take you to the bathroom, I'm fucking you up, bro. He's like, literally.
Like, please. I don't know what the fuck's going on right now, but you need to chill.
And he's like, get those motherfuckers, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And there's like an old lady in front of them, like a Karen.
Yeah.
And she's covering her son's ears.
She's like,
and he's like,
excuse me.
He's like in his head, like, why'd you bring your son to the game?
Yeah.
The fuck? And whatever, Clara screams, that's my man. I'm so proud of you, babe. And he goes like, he's like, hold me back. Hold me back, bro.
He's like, he didn't lose the fucking bitch.
Yeah, no. So then when the game is over, he starts following Clara. And he sees that Clara goes into like the locker room.
Yeah.
And he waits like a little while. And then Brandon is like dragging her out of the locker room. And she's like, I just wanted to take a picture with you.
Stupid bitch.
Bitch, who goes into the locker room?
Like, you wanted to see all them dicks.
It's giving pick me. It's like, whatever. Like, I don't care. I don't like, I'm one of the boys. It's giving that. So then, whatever. They take a picture. And she goes to kiss him. And he turns his head.
Yeah, Brandon's like,
girl. Nope. He turns his head. And then she leaves. And again, when he's like going to leave, Nikolai grabs him by the throat all of a sudden and throws him against the wall. And then he starts going like, oh, like, I told you to get rid of her. Yeah. Like, why is she still here? Why the fuck
are you still dating her? Like,
yes. And then Brandon tells him, like, you're fucking crazy, bro. You're crazy. But he's like, you're crazy.
Which, guys, technically, Brandon's cheating on her.
Yes. But
I don't fuck with the cheating
But this bitch has cheated on him before. So.
But I don't really like her, so it's okay.
No, but he's with her, like, he's in a relationship with her, but he had made it clear to her that he wants to have an open relationship.
Yeah, that it wasn't going to be serious. Yes. He's like, clearly, like,
yeah,
he didn't even like fucking her.
So then Brandon is like, you're crazy, bro. And then Nikolai's like, crazy about you. And then that's when they start getting into it again. He starts sucking on like Brandon's nipple. And then he shoves his finger in his mouth again. And then in the middle of like their makeout session, he hears people like calling for him. And he freezes again. He freezes again. And Nikolai literally is like, are you okay? And Nikolai has to like give him his shirt to cover up like all the hickeys that he has.
That he gave him.
And Brandon literally is just like he's in his own world and he's like, thank you. And he walks away. Yeah. And Nikolai is like, okay.
Like he's at the point right now where he's just like not comfortable.
Yeah. Being out there.
Yeah. Being in public. Yeah.
With Nikolai right now. Yeah. And Nikolai is basically like, he thinks in his head, he's like, fuck, like this isn't a game anymore. Yeah. To me at least. Like, he's like, I'm starting to feel a certain type of way.
I feel like feelings for him.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel like Brandon too. He just like, it's just obviously gonna take him more time to come with terms. Yes, with everything that's going on.
Which which I'm gonna be honest. I get a little frustrated throughout the series, and I'll get into it as we go along. But yeah,
I know exactly what you're gonna talk about.
It's like all the on and off. Bro,
yeah, because it was pretty on and off with them too.
It's like stop. Yeah. But anyways,
but I feel like it had a lot to do with. The on and off had a lot to do with Brandon.
And Nikolai too. He would go into his little episodes and he would just disappear.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
Yeah, they were both going through their own stuff. Yeah.
But anyways, that night Clara tries to sleep with him. And Brandon is basically like, no. Like, he starts finding her repulsive. And later on, we find out why he finds her repulsive so much. Because he says that she smells like flowers. Yeah. Like, her perfume is a floral scent. And then he tells her he wants to break up. And he's like, I cheated on you. And Claire's like, damn. Like,
she's like, dude, like, why?
And then she's like, okay, like, you know, like, I've cheated on you before.
Yeah.
Like,
she's fine. Like, it's fine. Like, invite them over. We can have a threesome.
Yes. And it's like, what?
The fuck?
So he's like, no. So then Landon and Eli pull up. Yeah. And they're like, get the fuck out of here, bitch. Like, and then Nikolai texts him a picture of Clara at a bar.
Yes, bro.
And he tells him, like, get here in 20 minutes or I'll send you a video of her riding me. Which this part, I was also like...
Yeah, like, why the fuck did you do that? Because the next part that we're literally going to talk about, I was also like...
Yeah, I was like, ew? Like, so, I would find that icky.
Yeah, so Brandon gets in his car. Drives up to his penthouse real fucking quick. Bro, when he gets there, Clara's literally, like, in front of Nikolai with his fucking dick out.
Yeah, like, she's about to suck him off.
Like...
She has his dick in her hands.
Yeah. And she looks at that shit like it's a fucking, like a lollipop. She's looking at that shit like...
Bro, and Brandon...
She's like, I love him fucking 4 piercings.
Brandon's girly pop comes out. He grabs her by the hair.
Bro. And he's like, bitch! bitch, get off my fucking man.
And she's like, baby, oh my God. She's like, baby, please. Like, we were broken up, you know? And Nikolai is like, I didn't mean it. Nikolai is, he's not your baby.
Yeah.
Get out. So whatever. Like, they kick her out. And then Brandon turns to leave. Because obviously he's like, bro, what the fuck? Like, yeah. And Nikolai from behind I would have been pissed. Yeah, I would find that icky. Yeah, he slams the door shut. Yeah, he's like, you ain't going nowhere. Literally, he's like, flower. You're not going anywhere. So he starts kissing Brandon. Yeah. And then Brandon starts asking him, like, why did you come into my life? Yeah. Which is so cute. Oh my God. Oh. And Nikolai is like, I'm in your life because you're fucking up mine. And then he drops to his knees. I was like, oh my God. Mind you, down, baby. Mind you, in the beginning of this book, Nikolai said something that I'm like, wow, I love that. He goes like, like, yes, I'm bisexual. And he's like, but women are meant to be worshipped and men are meant to be used. And I'm like, yes! Yes! Fucking use those motherfuckers. Walk them like the dogs they are.
But clearly, you know.
This is different. This is
different. He ends up changing his mind.
It's different. But women are meant to be worshipped. The fuck? Yeah. Like, we look like goddesses.
Brandon's the one exception. And clearly Clara too. Yeah. No one's worshipping her.
No. And then Brandon is like, what are you doing? And obviously Nikolai starts, you know, giving him head.
Sucking his dick.
And then after he comes everywhere again, because every time any of them come is everywhere. It's everywhere. It gets everywhere.
Brandon's like, I don't know if I'm asexual.
Yes. And then Nikolai is like, okay, now it's like your turn. Yeah. And Brandon's like
he's like, instructions, please.
Again.
Like, I need tutorial.
Again, he's like, I don't know. He gives him the excuse. He's like, I don't know how to suit it.
I'm just a baby.
I have no money. And he's like, that's fine. Like, you just put it in your mouth. Yeah. So
that's all you gotta do.
They go to 69. They start 69ing. Yeah. And while they're 69ing, Brandon hears like a drawer open. Bro, I don't know how he ignores that. I'll be like, immediately I would turn around and be like, what are you doing? What the fuck you think you're doing, motherfucker? Be like, what you pulling out of there?
It's clearly only two things. Nah, to be honest, it could be.
It could be other stuff.
It could be a couple stuff. It could be a little, you know, mystery bag you got in there. How much stuff you got?
But thankfully, it's just lube.
It's just, well, thankfully.
It's just lube.
Thankfully.
Bro, at least it's not a fucking dildo. I'll be like, oh.
It could have been a condom.
I guess. But that's
they're not there yet. They're not there yet. They ain't ready. They ain't ready. And Nikolai doesn't want to scare Brandon. He's like, nah. Yeah. He ain't ready for this.
So he gets the lube and he puts it all over his fingers and he starts, you know, going into his bro. And then again, Brandon comes everywhere, bro. Everywhere. He comes on his face, his chest, the sheets. Bro, I don't know how many times they came on the sheets. They must be washing their sheets on the daily.
I hope they're washing their sheets
on the daily. Yeah. With Brandon's fucking 100%.
And I'm not gonna lie, the smell in this book was fucking good.
It was good, yeah.
It was good.
So then Nikolai comes like all over Brandon's face. Yeah. And Nikolai.
I hope not in his eyeballs.
I hope not.
That shit hurts.
I hope he closes his eyes eventually. And then Nikolai. Or is it Brandon? I don't know. They mentioned that it goes on and on and on, bro. It just keeps coming out. It's like gallons. It keeps spraying everywhere and decorating the sheets. Just stop jerking it. It'll stop coming out. Yeah. And then Nikolai picks up some of his cum and licks it, bro. His own. He licks his own cum.
He's like,
tasty, yummy.
He's like, before Brandon tries it, let me
make sure it's not battery acid.
Let me make sure it's premium.
And he's like, okay, it's good. And then he tells Brandon, he's like, you made a mess this time. And he's like, hot as fuck. And he's like, he's licking his own cum off of Brandon's face. And then he shoves it in Brandon's mouth.
He's like, try it. That's your turn.
But I don't want to. Please. It's already all over me. I don't want it.
Oh my god.
But it's like, if he was 69, wouldn't it be in his mouth?
No, because he probably like
took it out. He got scared. I don't know. He's like something's coming off. Something's coming out of it.
He ain't ready for that yet, bro. He's not ready for that.
Yeah, and I got everywhere. Everywhere went over.
He's not experienced, girl. Yeah. He's not experienced.
He's not used to this.
Yeah, he's not used to this.
So then afterwards, Nikolai tells him to stay, and Brandon is like, no. He tells him no, and he leaves. Yeah. And he gets freaked out. So then the next day, Nikolai meets him to run, and Brandon is still treating him the same way. And Nikolai's like, we're a thing now. I don't know what you think, but we're a thing.
This clearly exclusive.
Yes, exclusive.
Exclusive, motherfucker.
And Brandon's like, okay, fine. If it's exclusive, it needs to be a secret.
Yeah, like no one can know.
And that's so sad.
For Nikolai.
That's so sad.
Because there's
and for Brandon too, like, be your authentic self.
Yeah, but he's just not ready. And there's a part where it hasn't happened yet. It's when Jeremy finds out that they've been like a thing, and Nikolai's like super fucking like sad that he won't.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's like
hard.
He's like, you should be with someone that like wants to be seen with you. Like,
which I agree. 100%.
Like, you shouldn't be like hiding. You shouldn't change yourself and hide yourself because of the person that you're with,
or be hidden. Like, be okay with being hidden, but. You know, like, he loves Brandon, and then Brandon also got his own stuff. So I excuse it. And
when Nico dies, which we end up finding out, like, later on in the book, but he bought that penthouse because Brandon wasn't comfortable being around. So he wasn't going to go to the Heathen's house or whatever.
To take him there. And you know. Yeah. So then, fast forward, after that, they become exclusive. Nikolai starts having one of like his manic episodes. Yeah. And he tells his dad, and his dad basically tells him, like, you need to get rid of Brandon because he's what's causing this. Yeah. And whatever, he's like, I need to fight. And then who's the first motherfuckers that's like, I'll fight you, Killian. Yeah. He's like, come on, let's go. Yeah, let's go. That's the only action I get. Apparently, I don't kill people.
He's like, I don't kill anybody, but you know,
yeah, I'm trying
to get, you know.
He's the biggest pretender. So, well, whatever. Nikolai ends up fucking killing him. Not gonna lie. He ends up fucking him up. And he sees Brandon in the audience. And Nikolai gets a text from Brandon saying, I'm coming over tonight.
So they go to the penthouse. They're going to the penthouse.
Yes. So then Brandon goes to his penthouse and he's waiting for him. And Nikolai, on his way there, he's basically like, he wasn't going there planning on like being romantic. Yeah. He was gonna use him. Yeah. Like men should be used. But anyways, he goes to his place and Brandon is like, oh, like, I'm sorry, like, I just let myself in, you know? And Nikolai literally like tackles him on the sofa and he's like, shut up and fuck me. And then he carries him to the bedroom. He carries Brandon. He's like, it's too late now. You getting fucked tonight, boy. He carries it. He's like, he's walking to the bedroom with him.
He's like, tonight's the night.
And he starts.
I've been waiting for this show.
He starts with the fingers. Yeah. You know, obviously you need to stretch it out. Not like Killian, bro.
Oh my God.
Killian just went in. Poor Landon. Poor girl.
And Asher there in his house, like,
poor girl.
Killing her.
But whatever. He's like using his finger, and Brandon's feeling it. He's like, can you fuck me already? Yeah. And Nikolai's like,
damn, like,
okay.
He's like, when only a few weeks ago you were saying you didn't want me.
No, mind you, he goes in. Yeah. And Brandon, he's like going little by little. He's like, fuck, I'm gonna hurt him. Yeah. And Brandon's like, deeper,
harder,
harder, rougher.
Like, fuck me right now.
Literally.
He's like, I want all of it. And be like, okay. Nico's like, shit, like, if you want it to the hill, I'll give you, baby.
Yeah, like, he's fucking his ass. His balls are slapping against his balls. And then, whatever, they fuck. Yeah. And Nikolai ends up knocking the fuck out. Yeah. He's like, damn, that was good, bro. That was a good ass butthole. Not gonna lie.
He's like, that's everything I wanted and everything.
Bro, it's probably waxed. Like, knowing Brandon, that shit's waxed.
It's proper
trimmed. He got, like, he put perfume back there, everything. Like, right at the end. Like, where the tailbone, he got. And his balls, everything. They're perfumed. And then, whatever, Nikolai knocks out and Brandon leaves. Yeah. He ends up, like, tucking Nikolai into bed. He washes the sheets, bro, everything. Brandon did everything. And then, fast forward, Nikolai is at a cafe. And he's like with I don't know if he's with Killian.
He's with Killian because I know that Brandon and I think Glenn were there. Was Brandon with Glenn?
No, this isn't the part. This
is not the part?
No. That they're in a cafe and Glennon's already there with Brandon, right? No, it's not.
No? But
sorry,
I know.
I was drinking water.
Thirsty.
Yeah, girl. My voice gonna end up like this. Okay, so he's at a cafe, and this guy named Simon goes up to Nikolai, and he's like, "Hey, Daddy, I miss you and your massive cock."
So Simon was one of Nico's regulars.
Yes.
That he used to either be with him or in like other orgies.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't like. But whatever.
But he's just like an old flame, so whatever.
Yes.
You know, like
he goes to push him away, and when he turns, Brandon is there, and Brandon's glaring at him like, "Who the fuck is that motherfucker?
Yeah. Who the fuck is that?
Who the fuck is that?"
Like, clearly you fucking other guys?
And he goes to like run after Brandon. Yeah. Brandon's gone.
Left. Gone. He's a bad bitch. He's like, I ain't fucking with this.
So he goes to his penthouse, and Brandon's there. And Brandon is there, and he throws condoms at him. He's like, "Since you fucking other people, maybe we should use protection.
So I don't catch an STD.
I don't catch no fucking STD, since apparently you be fucking around." All types of guys I did before. "Hey, Daddy. Hey, Daddy.
With your huge cock."
Just massive cock.
So like Nikolai is like, "Oh, you jelly, baby. Yes. You jealous."
Nikolai's like, "Oh, look at you. You feeling a certain type of way."
But it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like,
and then
I'm not jealous.
No, Nikolai like jokingly he offers a threesome. He's like, like we can have a threesome, just you, me, and Simon. And Brandon is like, "Fuck you." He's like, "Fuck you." And then Brandon punches him in the face. Because Nikolai is like, "Oh, you could watch me, or you could just watch me fuck Simon." But bro, like, come on.
You just said they were exclusive. Like,
yes. But Brandon real quick punches him in the face, and he's like, "We're done, motherfucker." And Nikolai, "I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding."
Dump your ass.
Real quick, Nikolai's like, "I'm just kidding. Please. I love you. Please." He's like, "I haven't slept with anyone since the initiation." And Brandon's
clearly
like,
his dick wasn't working.
"Yeah, bro." Brandon's like, "The initiation?
Yeah.
What the hell?" And he's like, "That's romantic." Yeah. So they fuck again.
Niggas like, "That's how long I've been wanting you, baby." Like,
yep. Oh, they fuck again. And again, Brandon's like, harder. Yeah. He likes it hard. And after they finish, Nico licks his own jizz from his booty hole and his balls and everything. And then Nikolai's like fucking in love with him. He's in love with Brandon at this point. Yeah. He's like, "Fuck, bro." Like,
he fell first and harder.
Yes. And he's like, "We're in a relationship. We're in a relationship from now on." So fast forward, the serpents burned down the heathen's place.
Yes.
With their brujeria, because they fucking,
their little fucking cult,
they're
their
little
bro. Satanic circles.
They made a circle around the place, and they're like, they summoned the fire.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then Brandon goes over to Nikolai's place, because Nikolai had texted him like, "Oh, that he's not okay or whatever." Yeah. And
Brandon's like, "I'm on the way."
Yeah. So Brandon goes, and basically they end up just like sitting together and watching TV. Yeah. And I thought, that's some real couple shit right there. Like that's some couple shit. So things are getting more serious. They're not just fucking anymore.
Yeah. Nico even like he leaves food at the apartment.
Yes.
Because Brandon's there all the time. Like,
Brandon cooking it up.
Yeah, he do like romantic shit. Like, okay.
A couple. So then fast forward, Killian and Nico, this is the part that they're gonna get coffee.
Yes.
Killian, he's like, "Oh, my girlfriend's in town, Landon's in town." But then he goes to get coffee, and Glyndon's there. Yeah. And she's like, "Oh my god, what a coincidence!" And Killian's like, "You should know me better by now. I knew you were here."
So I've been stalking you. I got that tracker on you, baby. Like, you thought I didn't know where you were.
Even Nico's like, "What the fuck?" And Killian's like,
Nico in his head like, "This crazy ass motherfucker." He's like, "I already know." He's looking at him like,
he's like, "This motherfucker."
He's like, "You may be able to fool her, but you ain't fooling me."
No, he's like, "But my cousin is a psycho, bro."
He's about to be like, "Where'd you get that tracker? Let me put one on this motherfucker."
Up his ass or some shit. But yeah, Glyndon's like, "Oh my god, what a coincidence!" And Killian's like, "Is it?"
Yeah, it's coincidence.
Oh my god.
He's like, "I knew where my baby is all the time.
I can't believe we're here, baby."
So good to see you. I thought I was gonna see you till tonight.
Bro, Killian was funny as fuck. He was funny. So then Killian asked Nico like, "Oh, who is it you're exclusive with?" Like right before we got here, we were talking about it.
Yeah. And Brandon's like,
and Killian's like, "Is it Simon that you're exclusive with?" Mind you, Killian, I feel like he knows all along.
Yeah.
Killian's like, "Is this
He's
Simon?"
acting stupid. And they're like giving them each other the eyes.
Yeah. And then Brandon gets up and he excuses himself to the bathroom.
He's like, I'm gonna go.
Obviously, Nico follows him.
Yeah.
And he throws him against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And then people are coming.
Yeah.
And he throws him into a stall.
Yeah.
And he starts sucking his dick.
Yeah.
And then, whatever, he finishes, whatever, they do their thing. And Nico gets mad at Brandon because they get into the topic again of why Brandon doesn't want to be public and that.
Which I understand, like, bro, come on, like, how long, like, are you guys gonna be in secret, like, your whole fucking relationship?
Exactly.
Like, Nico's like, I understood for like a little bit, but like, bro, it's about time.
Yeah.
Like,
so then Nikolai gets mad and he leaves. And when they go back to the table, Landon is sitting there. And I was like, oh my God.
Of course it is. Of course it's that motherfucker.
No, and then, bro, it's
like,
funny.
I can't see my siblings.
It's funny because, like, they're at the table. And Nikolai keeps looking at Brandon a certain way. And Landon's like, why the fuck you looking at my brother? And Nikolai, like, bro, Nikolai has to leave because he doesn't want to, like, fight Landon or anything. He doesn't want to, you know, upset Brandon.
Like, Brandon's giving him, like, the eyes. Like,
yes.
Please. Like, don't.
Yes. And then he doesn't.
Yeah.
And he leaves and Brandon texts him, like, oh, you know, thank you for not, like,
provoking
entertaining
him.
Landon and his bullshit. And Nikolai texts him, like, go find yourself another toy. We're done. Delete my number. And you see, like, that's a little extreme. This is one of the parts that I was like...
Because it keeps on going, like, back and forth.
Yeah, I was like, was that necessary? Like...
Yeah. I just feel like Nico was kind of over, like, the whole being in secret thing.
Yeah, I guess. It was just like, whatever. So then 2 weeks pass again. Like, it's the 2 weeks. 2 weeks is, like, the amount of time, I guess.
It's too much. 2 weeks is too long, honestly. Like, I feel like, you know, like, fights happen, you know, whatever. But, like, why is it not being solved sooner? Like, what's up with this 2 weeks too long?
Yeah, bro, especially if, like, apparently, like, y'all can't stop thinking about each other. Yeah. Like, what you doing going 2 weeks?
Y'all fucking in love. Like, Nico's like, this is the one. This is, I'm in love with this motherfucker.
Yeah, but then he cuts him off just like that. And then this is the part where shit gets more intense. Brandon literally says that, like, oh, like, I bled so much that I almost passed out. And at this moment, you're like, okay, wait, like, obviously something is going on with Brandon.
Yeah.
Like, what you mean you bled to the point that you almost passed out?
Yeah, his mental health is, like, at this point, you could tell that it's just...
Yes.
It's not good.
And he starts texting himself things that he would text Nikolai if they were talking. So he would like text, oh, like, why did you come into my life and then leave me?
That's so sad. Wait, stop.
It's that his character's so relatable, like, for real. It really is relatable.
Damn, I got fucking...
Yeah, no, I saw it real quick.
Yeah, damn.
So then he had texted Nikolai, like, do you miss me? And Nikolai had replied, like, who's this? You see, bro, like...
Don't be stupid. Don't be fucking stupid.
No, and then Brandon replies, sorry, wrong number.
Who this?
And Nikolai calls him and he's like, why you acting like you?
Like, bitch, you're acting first, the fuck?
Exactly. Yeah. So then, girl, Landon...
Oh my god.
Kidnaps Nico.
Yeah, kidnaps Nico. Like, this is what you get. Fucking look at my brother, bitch.
He's like, it's been cooking in my mind what to do. He's like, I'm gonna kidnap him. Yeah. He's like the king of kidnapping people, bro.
He loves kidnapping everybody.
But whatever, he kidnaps Nico, trying to lure Jeremy. And Brandon finds Nico. Yeah. He ends up, like, I think he brings like a knife with him or something.
Yeah, he brings like a pocket knife. And he sees his baby. He sees his baby all tied up. He's like, fuck.
Yeah. And he gives it to Nico. Yeah. He's like in the process of freeing him. Yeah. But then Creighton shows up and like knocks Brandon out. Yeah. But he's Nico like, has the knife ready.
He's like, you helping the enemy?
He's like, what the fuck?
But they know that Brandon doesn't like any of that. Like, he doesn't fuck with that shit. Yeah. So they already know that, like, he just didn't want... Well, they didn't know. They didn't know that they're together. Yeah. He just thought that he was going to let him go because he felt bad.
Yeah. But he already has Brandon's knife. Yeah. So he gets free. Yeah, yeah. And basically, both Nico and Creighton end up in the hospital because they start going at it. And then, after that... Again, they're still not talking. But we find out that Nikolai had been, like, stalking Brandon this whole time. And he texts Brandon to go to the penthouse. And when Brandon looks up, because Brandon, you know, he does charity and all that. He's, like, in one of those charity things. He's helping out. He looks up and he sees Nikolai and his motorcycle like across the street.
He brought the bike.
He's like, I need to pull out, I need to take it out.
Let me take you for a spin.
Yeah. So then they go to the penthouse and they talk and basically end the fucking, and Brandon finally agrees to stay with him.
Yeah.
So like after they fuck, Brandon stays sleeping. And I'm like, oh. So then weeks pass and they're
together.
Yes,
they're like
girl.
a couple. Brandon's staying over, sleeping the whole night. He doesn't just like leave at the end of the night when they finish.
And Brandon has been like whatever with his routine.
Yeah.
Like he was like he's like wake up at 5:30 in the morning, go
on a run,
go to school.
Yeah.
He's not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
He's kind of like like living life, being happy, and
cooking it up with the food that Nico buys.
Yeah. And then one day, like Nikolai goes to visit Brandon, and he finds Brandon like spaced out.
Yeah.
And he's like tugging on the back of his hairs, and Nikolai literally like he gets in front of him and he starts asking him like, what's wrong? And it he's like, hey, like, are you there? And eventually Brandon like wakes up and he's like, shit, like when did you get here? And Nikolai's like, what you mean, when did I get here? Like, I've been here a while. And basically he starts getting suspicious that Brandon might be going through some shit. He like realizes that he might be self-harming, basically. And whatever, Nikolai leaves him alone, and Nikolai goes to his jacuzzi because that's his like safe space. He likes to drown himself to
heat,
to like, I don't know, like clear his mind. He likes to drown himself. So then Nikolai gets in the jacuzzi and Brandon follows him, and he gets in the jacuzzi with him. And Nikolai gets mad because he's like, you're always like hiding shit. Like, what's going on? Like, I want you to talk to me. And Nikolai again threatens to end things with fucking Brandon, and Brandon starts panicking again because it's like at this point Brandon is like, Nikolai is
like threatening. Basically, it's kind of it feels like a fucking threat. It's like, if you don't tell me, like this is done.
Yeah.
But like Brandon's not used to opening up to people, so it's kind of like this back and forth that we're getting, and it's like Brandon needs to open up, but like Nico needs to realize that he's just not ready. Yeah,
and it's like, bro, like. And I agreed with Brandon. I didn't agree with Nikolai in this part, but
because you could tell that someone's in a dark place. Like, he realized, and he's like thinking to himself, like, "Fuck!" Like, Brandon's clearly going through something, and like, what does he do? Like, automatically, he's like, "If you don't tell me, like, it's over. Like, I'm dumping you."
Yeah,
when
he
that's
gives him
like
an ultimatum, basically.
Yeah, when that's not what you do when someone like you're saying you love them.
Yeah,
you don't do that.
So then Nikolai, like, he's threatening to take away the only thing that Brandon.
Like his light.
What's keeping him happy, basically. Yeah. So Brandon starts panicking because obviously if Nikolai isn't around, he's gonna go back to
how he was before.
Yeah. So then Nikolai notices that he has a Band-Aid under his watch. Yeah. And he's like, what is that? And Brandon's like automatically, he's like, no. He shuts down, bro. And then Nikolai grabs his arm, and Brandon goes crazy. Yeah. He's like punching at his chest, like he's telling him to stop.
Like, please don't, because he knows what he's gonna do. He's gonna take off the Band-Aid.
Well, he like throws the watch, and he rips off the Band-Aid, and he sees like a scar, but it's like multiple scars on top of the same scar. Like, he's been. It's like an old scar,
and then he's like reopening up the scar.
Yes, and he has a fresh cut, so he's like actively engaging in self-harm. Yeah. So then Nikolai asks him like, why? And Brandon tells him like that he hates himself.
Hey, fucking, and then this part, bro.
I know, this part is like,
oh my god.
He tells him that like every time he sees himself in a mirror, he wants to shatter it. And he's like, I was doing fine pretending and putting on a facade, so why the fuck did you ruin that? Like, coming into my life. And he's like, why did you come into my life and destroy every wall I built? Every lie I told myself. And he's like, why do you touch me like I'm beautiful? Why do you hate me when I can't stand myself? And then Nikolai like just holds him. Yeah. And like Brandon, they stay there for a while.
This is the part where I'm pretty sure like Nikolai tells him like, oh, even if you like hate yourself, like I'll love you for both of us.
Yeah. And this part was so relatable. And it's like, you know, like at the same time, I feel like you need to love yourself in order to like properly love someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was relatable to me because it's specifically the part about like putting up a facade and like having to always be like perfect and always to having to, you know, be like the happy one and smile all the time. And you know, you might be that person that you don't want people to know what the fuck is going on,
especially out in public. Like,
yeah,
everyone thinks that you're good,
and like you're not okay with opening up to people,
and inside you're going through like your own stuff. No one sees like how you actually are doing.
Yeah,
some people just, and it sucks because sometimes you feel like other people just don't care. So why should you even tell anyone?
Exactly. So it was very relatable. I was like, damn.
And I'm not gonna lie, like I've been going through Rena Kent's like universe because I kind of read it backwards, and the amount of like emotion in this book, I haven't finished all of them, but this one had to be like, at least for me, one of the most emotional books.
Yeah. And like seeing it, both of us are like psych nurses. So, and we literally deal with this on the fucking daily.
Yeah.
So, seeing this in a book, it's like that's realistic, bro. That literally happens
where this
to so
literally
many
happens
people.
To so many people.
And it's like, it's true. Like you feel that way, and you feel like you need to hurt yourself, and it's like it's hard. It's fucking hard to come out of it. So yeah.
Like the hate that you have for yourself.
Yeah. So it was like,
it's rough. This book made me very.
No, this book literally, I was like, bro, like this is what we do. This is literally what we deal with. So yeah, anyways, let's get off of that topic. Yeah. Let's continue.
It's gonna get, the tears are gonna come out.
Because girl, you're like, yeah.
I can't even talk, guys.
You're like, yeah, let's continue. Continue. We're almost done.
Yeah.
So after that, Nikolai ends up fighting Landon, of course. Mind you, after that whole scene, Nikolai disappears again. Because he's going through his episode.
One of his episodes.
But it's like, bro, like this man just came out to you and told you all the shit that he's been dealing with and how he views himself, and you're just like, bye.
But I also feel like Nico, like, it's not confirmed in the book. I don't know if maybe someone knows, if she's like talked about it. But it's, at least to me, it was assumed that Nico also has like some mental.
Honestly, I feel like he definitely has like a personality disorder.
Yeah, like he definitely, his manic episodes are for sure something.
Well,
like,
yeah,
I don't
he takes
think,
medication.
Like I don't think it's just him like going through one of his like episodes. Like I feel like he's actually going through something that he can't control.
Yeah. But damn, bro, right after that, that fucking sucks.
It kind of shows like they're both going through something.
Yeah. So then Brandon is obviously like, okay, I guess like that freaked him out. But whatever. Nikolai ends up like fighting Landon, even though Brandon like literally begged him not to. And Landon is suspicious because Nikolai was looking at Brandon a certain way.
Yeah.
So Brandon texts Nikolai, like saying like, you know, like we need to like keep it on the low, obviously because he doesn't want Landon and Nikolai to fucking like clash. And Nikolai again gets mad, and he's like, oh, like you're gonna pick your brother over me, which like obviously yeah. And he's like, I'm not going in the closet back with you.
Like if we're gonna be together, like this is gonna be open.
Yeah.
If this is not, like, if you don't want to be open, then
and then again ghosts him for a week, bro. Like that's a little insensitive. Yeah, sorry, it's a little insensitive. So then Brandon goes to the penthouse to wait for him, and he never shows. And then Brandon ends up telling Glenn and Cecily, like, oh, like, you know, I've been with Nikolai and this and that. And they're like, oh, that's why he keeps asking about you. And Brandon's like, shit, like, he asking about me?
Like my baby.
Okay. So then, girl, it's Mia's birthday party. And Brandon goes because, you know, he's invited. Bro, Nikolai gets in his face and he's like, why are you here? Yeah. Like, this and that, blah, blah. Telling him a bunch of shit. And it's like,
he's like, I'm besties with your sister.
Like, back the fuck up.
Yeah.
Why are you doing
Who
all
are
this?
you?
Like,
it's not even your birthday party.
No, like, why are you being all extra? Yeah. Like, and I don't know.
He was literally being an asshole.
Yeah. Everybody's like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, whatever. Like, he could stay. whatever. But then Landon shows up and he's like, I'm here to celebrate your sister. You know? Like, he basically tells Nikolai, like, I fucked her.
Nikolai's like, what do you mean? And he's like, what you think, baby?
He's like, we already.
I be all up in that. Like, well, technically, we're family.
So then Nikolai goes to punch Landon, but Brandon gets in front. He punches Brandon instead.
So, oh, my lotus flower.
My lotus flower. Oh my god. My god, bro. So then, whatever. Brandon takes Landon.
Brandon takes Landon.
And they go.
Yeah.
They go. And then Brandon, just texts him like, I'm fine. Like, I'm okay. Whatever. And then another week goes by. And Brandon, like, keeps texting Nikolai, but he doesn't reply. Mm-hmm. And Nikolai eventually, like, he's like, oh, like, like, I'm gonna go see you. Mm-hmm. So he shows
Brandon
up.
is now at his parents' house. He's like, I need a break.
No, he's not at his parents' house yet. He's still like at the university. And this is the part that Nikolai, like, he meets him outside and he fucks him against a tree.
That is true.
And he just leaves him. And that's it.
And then he goes to his parents' house.
Yeah. He just leaves him and that's it, bro. Yeah. Like, he fucks him up the ass and leaves.
He's like, it's been a while. Like, my day don't work if it's not you. Like, I needed this.
Yeah. So then Nikolai, he's like, he comes up with the amazing plan. He's like, you know what? I know a solution. I need to kill Landon. He's like,
I need to eliminate the enemy.
Get rid of Landon.
Yeah.
And then I could be with Brandon.
Yeah. Then it's all good. Which, like, are you fucking stupid? Are you fucking stupid?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So then they fight again. And then Brandon goes up to Nikolai and punches him in front of everybody.
Clearly a lot of hitting.
And he tells...
Domestic violence.
Bro, because...
Domestic violence.
Nikolai, like... I think he hurts Landon's wrist or something. And he's an artist.
Yeah, bro.
So he gets mad.
I think he breaks it. Or fractures it.
Some shit like that. Yeah. So he
fucks it up.
Yes, he punches Nikolai and he's like, we're done. Like, that's it, bro. Like, you went too far.
Fucking with you anymore.
And
that's
Jeremy's there. Yeah. And Jeremy's like,
he's out there. He's like, you fucked up. He's like, Nikolai.
So then now Brandon is ignoring Nikolai. And this is the part that Brandon's at his parents' house.
Yeah.
And
their parents' house.
Their parents are like, they're probably tired of this shit.
Yeah.
They're like, first Killian. And it's like, somehow we got to accept that motherfucker. And now Nikolai.
Well, when Nikolai shows up, no, because I think he's talking to his mom. Or
he tells him.
Yeah. And he tells him, he's like, oh, like, I think it's Asher. No, it's Levi. Yeah, Levi, his dad. He's like, so like, who's this Nico? And then he's like, so you know Killian?
They're like,
and they're like, yeah, we know fucking Killian.
Yeah, unfortunately,
we know Killian.
Unfortunately.
And then they're like, tell me you're not weird, like your sister's boyfriend. Like, tell me that's not.
Just a
and they're like, he's like, nah.
I love it.
So he's like, so Nikolai is his cousin. They're cousins, right?
Yeah.
He's like, they're, that's his cousin. And he's like,
yeah, bro. He's like, damn, he had to keep it in the family.
And he's like, oh my god. He's like, please tell me that at least he's better than Killian. And Brandon's like, actually, he's the one that keeps Killian in check. And Levi's
like, but he fucked Landon up. Yeah. Just letting you know.
So then he's like, oh. I think he tells his wife, he's like, I think I'm having a heart attack.
No, but Brandon basically, like, comes up to his parents and tells his parents everything.
Yeah.
And then when Nikolai comes, he tells Nikolai, like, you don't get to ignore me for weeks and then go back to how things were. But, Nikolai apologizes and, of course, they end up, like... They end up becoming publicly.
Yeah,
official.
They become public because when he shows up, like, he's like, oh, like, hi, like, I'm Nikolai, I'm Brandon's friend. Mm-hmm. And Brandon's like, he's more than a friend.
Yeah.
So
then he stays
together.
He stays at the parents' house, and his parents are not paranoid. They're already scarred from last time Killian stayed. But whatever. I think they end up like doing some stuff, and they shower together. Yeah. And Nikolai's like, he's like, I want you to see something, baby. And he's like, look at this.
Look what I got.
And it says property of B King. I'll be like, oh.
I'll be like,
put that back.
Please.
I'd be like, we're going tomorrow to cover that up.
We're going to the laser.
I'm just kidding.
The mess bar.
I fucking love that shit. I'd be like, oh.
Damn, baby. Yo.
I would love for my man to get my name tattooed.
Property of
I love that crazy
Priscilla.
shit. I love that crazy shit. But whatever. They fuck and girl, they make love.
Yeah, they make love.
It's like slow.
Yeah. It's like a rhythm.
It's slow. They slow fuck. And then they have like a dinner, and they invite this woman named Grace. And Grace is basically the one that signs his mother. So she works in Grace's company or whatever.
She's the one.
She's the agent.
Yeah, she's the agent. So she's planning, I think Astrid, I think, wants her to be Brandon's agent as well, because I think she's picking up Landon and Glenn.
No, Landon has someone else.
Then I think she's gonna do Glenn, and then he's like, "Oh, like you should do." Yeah, because that's right, because Landon does statues. Yes. So he's going with someone else.
But Brandon ends up going with Landon's agent.
Yeah, because
he signs under
he's like,
agent.
no, like the mom was the one that wanted him to go with Grace, and he's like, like no, like I don't want to, like I'm gonna go with someone else.
Yeah,
which we don't know, like at the moment why.
So then they have dinner. And after dinner, Grace goes up to Nikolai and she basically starts telling Nikolai, like, leave Brandon alone. Like, she's like, stay away from him. And Nikolai's like,
the fuck is like, stupid bitch? Like,
he's like, stay away or what? And, bro, mind you, she's fucking, this is for me when, like, it didn't make sense to me. It felt like a way for her to reveal, the truth.
What happens?
But it's like, nobody would do this shit, bro. So, girl, she literally sends Nikolai a video.
Yeah.
To have him stay away of her basically grooming Brandon.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll use that word.
Yes. There's...
That bitch, there's a special place
Great.
In fucking hell for this bitch.
Yes. Mind you, he was 15 when it happened.
Yeah.
So Nikolai watches the video and Grace ends up going to Brandon. And she starts telling him about like, oh, like, is it because of like a little misunderstanding from the past that you don't want to be signed to me? And she starts like talking about Nikolai, and he literally tells her, he bashes her head against the fucking wall, and he's like, I'll fucking kill you if you mention Nikolai again. Yeah. Like, keep his name out your fucking mouth. And then whatever, after that interaction, Brandon walks into the room,
which is when literally Nikolai is looking at the video.
Yes. So he catches Nikolai watching the video.
And that chapter is in Brandon's point of view. And like when he walks into the room, he like hears a video playing. And he's like, I know those voices.
So then obviously he sees Nikolai watching the video and he starts panicking again. And he's like Nikolai looks up at him and he's like, oh fuck. Yeah. And he's like, you saw what happened to me.
Yeah.
And then Nikolai is holding like a glass in his hand, which had broken.
Because I'm already getting fucking teary.
And Brandon like grabs that shit and he ends up making an attempt.
Yeah.
To end it all, basically. So he uses the glass on his neck. That's all. That's how I'm gonna word it. And Nikolai starts like putting pressure on it, and he's like, "Please don't leave me." And they take him to the hospital. Turns out that the family surgeon, I don't know, some surgeon stitches him back together. Mind you, he slit his carotid. I don't understand how that worked. I think she should have done a little more research, because if you slit your carotid, there's no amount of pressure.
It's amount of seconds.
There's no pressure to save you.
Nikolai apparently got a lot of pressure, girl.
Apparently, bro. He got choking him out.
That was staying there. He's like, even if my fingers cramp, I'm not moving.
Yes. But whatever, he survives. Yeah. He survives. And literally, as soon as like Nikolai hears that he survived, he calls up his dad and he's like, find me her location. Like, I'm going.
I'm ending this bitch.
And then he feels a hand on his shoulder and he's like,
who do you think it is?
And Landon's like, I want in. Landon's like, I want in. And he's like, what the fuck?
He's like, okay.
Landon's like, he's like, I've been waiting for this.
He's like, I'm ending this bitch.
Yeah. So then.
And Killian still hasn't ended anybody. Still
no, bro, he probably would have liked to, you know?
He's like, after he's like, why you not invite me?
Yeah, right.
My chance.
He probably like texted Killian, and Killian's like, I'm sorry, I was sleeping. Like, I didn't see the message. So Nikolai, Landon, and his dad, they end up going to Grace's house, and they basically like they show up to her house, and they force her to write a confession.
Yeah. Of what she did.
So she writes a confession, and then they drag her to the tub, and both Landon and Nikolai slip both of her. I don't want to say it, but
they do something, and they enter.
They do something to her wrists, and
enter. That's it. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I don't want to say the words.
Yeah.
And then whatever, they got rid of her.
Yeah.
And we get Brandon's point of view, and he wakes up
in the hospital,
and I think Landon is with him, and they're talking, and all of a sudden Landon shows up, and Landon tells Glinda, he's like, get out.
He's like, get the fuck out, bitch.
And she's like, what the fuck? And he's like, I need to talk to my brother.
Oh, yeah.
And Brandon's like, it's okay, let go.
Yeah.
Bro, Glinda must feel like shit. I would be like,
it's because she kind of doesn't really like Landon, but this chapter really like showed Landon and Brandon's relationship.
Yeah, this chapter actually made me interested in Landon.
Yeah.
Because Landon, like, you could tell he cares about his brother.
100%.
And he literally tells him, like, what can I do for this not to happen anymore? He's like, is it me? And he literally tells Brandon, like, I will, like, leave the country if you need me to. Like, you'll never see me again if it's me. Like, I promise you. And he starts begging him to, like, never do it again. And Brandon is kind of like, he's like,
that was,
bro.
He's like, it wasn't you. Like, you could stay.
Yeah. And then he tells Landon, by the way, like, me and Nikolai,
like,
we're a thing.
We're a thing. And then he's like, oh, fuck. He's like, I kind of realized when, he did what he did for you.
But then he's like, please, just answer this one question.
He's like, you top the motherfucker? He's like, you top him?
He's like, please tell me you top the motherfucker. And Brandon's kind of like,
he's
then
like,
he's like, fuck, bro.
He's like, I still love you, though. I still love you.
He's like, really, bro? Like, at least once. Like, just fuck him for me. Like,
please.
Fuck him on the ass. So then Nikolai comes in.
Yeah.
And immediately Nikolai is like, how can you try to leave me? He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you think I'm supposed to do without you? He literally tells, like, he tells Brandon, like, I'm a shell without you. Like, there is no me without you. And then, he, like, gets Brandon's hand and puts it against his chest. And he's like, this only beats for you. And I was like, wow, he getting poetic. The fuck? And then, whatever. Basically, they love each other. They kiss. And Brandon ends up getting, like, Nico's lotus flower tattooed on his chest. And the book basically ends with them getting engaged. Yeah. And they're very happy. And that's the book.
And I hope they get babies.
I hope they get babies.
I hope they get babies.
They deserve babies.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I would say this book is definitely, like, a huge improvement from God of Malice.
Guys, it just wasn't her vibe.
God of Malice, absolutely not. But again, I will say the only thing about this book that I was like,
the back and forth
was the back and forth, and also like Rena Kent with the trauma writing. I don't know about the end about him, like in the neck. I don't know about that.
She's very high on the trauma level. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
that I've read like multiple of her books.
The rest, like what Brandon was going through, again, like very relatable, and I think that like that was good. That was like a good part of the book. But the end, like when he finds out, like when he catches Nikolai and he like his carotid, bro. I was like, but other than that,
he hit the spot.
Yeah, I gave the book 4 stars. I really liked it. I was waiting finally for one of these books to hit.
I gave it 5. I love this book. It was my favorite of the series. I'm honestly super excited for God of War.
It was very nice.
We are gonna read God of War.
Yeah, I guess.
You think there's gonna be trauma?
Probably. But next video is gonna be Leather and Lark. The second book
of Butcher and
Blackbird. Let's see who got a piercing this time. Let's see if there's any piercing.
I think honestly this one's gonna be a little bit more unhinged than the last one.
I need it to be more unhinged because they're supposed to be fucking insane.
Yeah.
And
she's
Rowan just punches people.
Nah, I think this one's literally gonna be on.
We'll see
what you give this one. I'm expecting a 5-star read. I hope.
We'll see.
I really hope. I need something good, guys.
But yeah, guys. And go and listen to One of Your Girls by Troye Sivan after this video so you could imagine Nikolai and Brandon. And until next time, bye.